practices for resilience. What does that mean, practices for resilience? Well, I would say resilience is close to water off a duck's back. You may have heard that saying. The duck gets wet, the water just turns into little droplets and beads and falls off the duck, and the duck doesn't care. Wouldn't that be nice if when troubles hit us, they just washed off of us, they just fell off of us? So that would be resilience. When things go wrong in our lives, it doesn't really impact us for that long, doesn't drag us down into some terrible place. So it would be good if we could bring in more resilience. So I'm going to teach you 3 exercises that you would practice in order to lift your level of resilience. So the 3 gateways that I'm going to use to help you practice becoming more resilient is sound, is breathing, and touch. So the reason I picked these 3 things for you to practice is that they're with you all the time. If sound is an issue, then you can use touch, you can use smell, you can use sight. If sight is an issue, then you can use sound and touch and breathing. So there's a number of different ways. Personally, my favourite ones are these 3. I'm running the program, I get to pick what I want. Right, fair enough. No, I like these ones because they're easy to get good at quickly. All they need is your attention and give it a go. So let's start practicing building up resilience. We're going to do this by practicing some awareness exercises around these 3 things. So I might actually start with breathing first, because breathing gets us ready for the touch and the sound exercises. So let's start with our breathing. So, breathing. Is it important? Yes, if you want to live. Other than that, breathing is taken for granted a great deal of the time. We use it as a form of body language sometimes to say, great. Or you hear someone say, and you'll instantly match their level of freak outness. So in that way, breathing is responding to our state of mind, isn't it? When you're freaking out in your state of mind, when you're irritated by something, right, that whole big sigh is linked into the state of mind. So we don't want breathing just to be this thing from now on that happens and we don't become aware of it. We now need to become aware of what we normally take for granted, because when we do that, we're actually increasing the ability for us to be more resilient to bad things going on. You might think, what are you talking about, Dale? How can I be more resilient to something just because I'm aware of my breathing? Well, here is the answer, my friends. You can't concentrate on breathing and also be worried at the same time. Try it. Just concentrate on the next breath that you take. Now, if you want to concentrate a bit better, close your eyes. I'm going to keep mine open, but in my mind I'm closing my eyes. Okay, I'm going to keep mine open, so when you do open your eyes, I'm here with you. And that'd be a bit strange if I just had my eyes closed and you videoed me just with my eyes closed. I might as well just... Well, actually, Dan, my clever editing fella, might be able to do something funky at this point, just make the screen go black. So if I click my fingers, how about that? How cool is this stuff? Dan's just made the screen go black. And if I click my fingers again, then I'm back here. Okay. But let's do it with a black screen, all right? Sorry, Dan, but we're back to black now. And So I've eliminated the visual. So just close your eyes, and I'm meeting you in this darkness. And just become aware now of your breathing. You can breathe in through your mouth or in through your nose, whatever you like. And just become aware of your chest is expanding as you're breathing in. And just let your shoulders relax as much as possible. Okay. You might notice that you can become aware of some sounds around you. But we just want to bring our attention back to the breathing. To see how, from doing this, your worries have instantly decreased in your life. Because you can't concentrate on breathing and worry at the same time. Just keep breathing. Try and, every time you breathe in, you count 1. The next breath in is 2. You just count in your mind. Things. So just become aware of the sounds that are around you at the moment. You may have headphones on. If you want, just pause the video, take your headphones off, and close your eyes and become aware of sounds. And once you're aware of those sounds, then come back to this video and keep playing it. So after becoming aware of these sounds, I want you to truly listen and become aware of the space between you and that sound. And imagine the journey that that sound has taken to reach you, for you to hear it. And just become aware of that space between you and the sound. Now you can do this with your eyes closed. I suggest you do, because it cuts out a lot of the visual stimulation that our brain is coded to be aware of first and foremost. A lot of our attention goes into what we see. That's why when you may have been listening to a wonderful song, at one point you closed your eyes and listened to it. Close your eyes and listen. Now imagine if you did this exercise when you were having a conversation with someone. Important conversation. Maybe not close your eyes. It might freak them out a bit. You might think you've gone to sleep. Actually, the opposite is occurring. You're really, truly listening. Just listen. And once you're aware of that space between you and the sound, I want you to now become aware of a space between a sound I'm about to make and the space between it and you. You could be over the other side of Australia from me. So this sound's going to have to cover a large distance. Okay, so close your eyes and be ready for a sound that I'm going to make. And my editor Daniel might make the screen go black right now. There we go. Thanks, Dan. And I want you to be ready to listen to this sound I'm about to make. It's going to start off loud, but then it's going to fade into the distance. I want you to see where that sound used to be in your mind once the sound's gone. Okay? So be ready for the sound. Here it comes. So there was a sound that arrived, and then it's gone, and there's just this space between the sound and you. You may hear the rain falling on a roof sometimes. Some people like that, rain falling on a tin roof. I know farmers do. They like the sound of that, filling up their dams. You may have liked the sound of a bird singing in the garden. You may like the sound of your favourite food cooking, or the sound of a TV show, the opening music for it. You may like the sound of your phone when you get a text message. You may not. The sound's a great focal point in your busy day, in your busy mind, to become aware of what's happening in the present moment. So I can click my fingers, and that sound makes me appear back on your screen. It's pretty amazing, isn't it? Amazing stuff. So we've done breathing, and we've done sound. And if you've followed through these exercises, if not, go back to the start of this video, watch it again. Get into this space, listen to those 3 dings again. Get into that space, okay? If you're wondering what that ding was, because the screen was black, this is what the ding was. These are called tingsha bells. Tingsha bells. Brass, solid brass, and they just resonate nicely. You can buy a set of these on eBay, or I might put a link in the underneath the video here for a place that you can buy them. But they're a great little tool to help you become aware of the moment. If you've got a screaming child in your house, those things are good. Now, there's some other things that are useful to get us into the present moment, and that are leaves. There's lots of leaves around. I've got a bit of a branch here, but I'm just going to break one leaf off and give the rest to the koalas. But this leaf is an amazing device. It turns gas into solid material. Carbon dioxide turns it into oxygen and takes the carbon out of the carbon dioxide and turns it into leaf matter. It's pretty amazing, isn't it? Leaf's got very complex systems in it, and we take them for granted. We see them on the ground, outside our house, clogging up our gutters, burning in bushfires, and we don't really give them a second thought. Well, today, my friends, we're going to have a leaf. Actually, we're going to take a leaf out of its own book. It's going to show us how we can increase resilience through becoming aware of nature. And this is our nature right now. If you don't have a leaf, you could have a gum nut, you could have anything that's natural. An animal, a cockroach, spider. What? You say what? Well, it's only your bias against spiders and cockroaches. They don't know who you are. You know them and you don't like them. It's a bit of a strange thing, really, when you think about it. How's a leaf any different to a cockroach? It's just doing its thing. But we put an angle on it. We don't like them. So maybe if you don't like spiders, spiders could be something that you use to help build resilience. Is you look at a spider and imagine what it would be like for them. Imagine how amazing it would be like having 8 legs. And girls watching this video, you should be really happy with having 8 legs, because on the end of every leg is a foot, and on that foot is a shoe. So you get to go and buy 8 pairs of shoes rather than just one. Well, yeah, 4 pairs of shoes. Hang on. How does that, Dan, how does that work? You have 4 pairs of shoes?
Yeah,
4, but anyway, it's good. But then you'd have to shave your legs a lot too if you wanted to do that, because anyway, let's get back. Nature's good. Okay, nature's good to focus in on and get into the present moment. Let's have a look at Mr. Leaf here. So, when you look at this leaf close up, you will see that there's a spine down the middle, that there are these little veins that are running off to the side, and there are some little dots and some little imperfections on a leaf. And I want you to get to know these imperfections and these dots and the curvature of your leaf really well. So I want you to maybe pause the video at this point and spend a couple minutes really getting to know this leaf. Now, you may think that this is stupid. Thought's not necessary. Just do the exercise. I wouldn't be leading you up the garden path and harming you in any way or wasting your time. This is incredibly beneficial. Simple exercise, and if you don't want to do it, you've got more work to do, because you've got to get out of the way of yourself. This is tough stuff, people. All right, so pause, have a look at this leaf, come back to me once you think you know it. Okay, so you've had a good look at your leaf, and you might know it well enough that if I put it back on the branch, you might be able to look around and find it and say, is it that one, that one? Nope, here it is. That's the one I had. You'll notice that when you've been doing this little review of nature, again, your worries are a long way away. Now, sometimes, though, they might jump in and say to you, get this stuff done. You've got more important thing to do than looking at leaves. Maybe. But it's a good exercise to practice nonetheless. And watching that chatter is really important. Just touch that leaf. Just feel what it's like. The roughness. So now you're using not only your sight, but you're using your touch sensation as well. Okay? Sometimes leaves have got like a number of little bumps on there. It could be smooth. Could be like feeling braille. Mine does. Mine does have braille, and I can read it. It says, "Thank you for filling me up." On here, says the leaf. That's okay, leaf. But again, when you're aware of what's happening in the present moment, your worries are a little bit further away. So how does this make you more resilient? Well, it could be this way. You're having an argument with someone in your life, and you just remember, mid-argument, to reach into your pocket and pull out a leaf. And you start looking at the leaf and feeling that leaf as the other person's yelling at you. And they say things like, "Are you even listening to me?" And you say, "Yes, for the last 10 seconds while becoming aware of this leaf, I've truly heard you." See what happens then. Kapow. Okay. In an argument, I always use arguments as an example because they're a good thing to stop. In an argument where you don't have a leaf, take a breath. here. You don't have tincture bells in an argument, but you have the other person's sound. You have your own words that are coming out. Stop and listen to the words coming out. Even say to yourself, geez, I'm aware of the words that are coming out. And the other person said, yeah, so what? Well, you're the leader here. You've got to lead yourself. So you say that, I'm aware. See what happens. At least the water's getting closer to running off your back. And then it's just a matter of practicing this everywhere you can. Become aware, become aware. Drive your car, become aware you're breathing. Become aware of the engine sounds. Become aware of traffic. Become aware of work. Become aware of TV. Become aware of conversations. Become aware of the sounds when you're having a shower or brushing your teeth. Or brushing your hair. Or putting on your shoes or walking down the steps. Becoming aware of mindful step walking. Using sound and touch through your feet. Become aware of your pets, the noises they make, the touch of their fur or their feathers or their scales. Become aware of fish swimming in a tank or in a pond. Become aware of the rain falling from the sky onto the ground. There's so many things around that you can become aware of, and when every time you practice that, becoming aware and just stopping and pausing, you'll notice you can't think. You're not worrying. That's increasing your resilience. There's research showed that people that practiced awareness exercises ended up with a thicker part of the brain that deals with decision making, either making things good or bad. So it thickens up the part of your brain that decides whether something's woeful and terrible or not. Now that would be good. This will actually make you thicker in the head. In a good way. Right? So practice these things. Breathing, listening, and taking advantage of nature through touch. Even smell. Dan, this does not taste good. I don't know how koalas do it, but you can use touch as well, like eating a piece. I should have got some chocolate. But that's practices for resilience. See how you go. Practice this often and much.